Hey everybody, it's Casual Boops coming at you with another video, and today we're going to be covering the Mirny-13 event. If you've seen any of the articles on World of Tanks, or you'll definitely load in, you'll see the garage. The event today for the Halloween event, which I guess it's supposed to be. I don't know. The Waffentrager event seemed like a Halloween event to me, but I guess that's a September event. This is a Halloween event. So, anyways, what is Mirny? Oh, first, basically, what I want to talk about here is what is the time that it's going to take you to even finish the event? Because this is something I think is the most important thing to think about before we even talk about what it is or what you get for it. Like, what is the time that it's going to take you to finish? And as I'm looking at this, I see that there are two. Oh, okay, so if we're looking at the rewards here, there are two things you need to do, right? So you do performance things to get finish this certain thing on certain difficulties and so on and so forth. You do things like that, and that'll get you a reel. And then you decode or decrypt the reels using keys, and you grind the keys by playing the mode. So there's an aspect of this that's grinding, and then there's an aspect of this that's performance. So if you're very, very bad at the game, it's entirely possible that you just aren't good enough, whatever, to get past certain difficulty levels. And at that point then, so specifically these top two, it allows you to just brute force it. You don't even need to get the reel for doing these various difficulty things. You can just brute force it with more keys. Ditto for this one, but it's a lot more keys. So, with that in mind, assuming you are good enough to do the things to get the reels, it takes 170 keys to finish this whole thing. If you aren't good enough to do the things, get the reels here, and you have to do this one, and then you also have to do this one, then it's 320 keys to finish this. So now you can look through the mode. There's like two different articles that World of Tanks have published about this game mode. And you can look through. Basically, the gist is if you play really bad, you get no keys for a battle. If you play really, really good in the highest difficulty level, you win it, you get 5 keys. So I'm assuming for the purposes of this estimation that most people on average are going to get 2 or 3 keys per battle. And with that in mind, it's going to take you at least 56 games to finish the event. And if you are not good enough to do to do this part, right, you have to brute force it. If you have to go to these, it's going to take you 106 battles to finish this thing. So to me, right away, I'm looking at this thinking, all right, the rewards had better be awesome because this is going to take a long time. So with that, I will segue right into what are the rewards, and here we are right on the screen. Basically, the rewards are crew. It looks. I looked on the website, and it's a crew recruit that has brothers in arms trained, and that's all they say. So that leads me to believe that this is not a 0 skill brothers in arms. This is just a brothers in arms crew, which can be retrained, but it's got its first perk and it's trained like that too. So that's and there's let's see, there's another one, and then I think a third one. Yeah, so 3 brothers in arms crews. And then a couple of crew books. There's some crew books in there. I think there was, let me see here. There was one here, and I think there's one at the end here as well. And, maybe it's 4 crew. So you get 4 crews, a couple of crew books, and then the really big thing here is the King Tiger, which is a tier 7 heavy tank. If you have American, it's a captured King Tiger. It's sort of like, I'm going to say a Tiger 2 at tier 7, but that's not quite true. It's sort of like a similar armor model to the Tiger 2 at tier 7, but it trades off, it doesn't have the gun stats of a Tiger 1. So anyways, it's been around for a while. If you have Twitch Prime, you had it last year, you definitely had this as a rental. It's okay. I mean, there's going to be people out there that love this thing, but I didn't really care for the tank personally. I think it's kind of slow and meh. So that's basically it. You're doing all this grinding for a couple of crew, some crew books, and the King Tiger. So is it worth it to you? That's something only you can decide. I think free-to-play players is probably worth it just to even just to play it enough to get to the level 2 here, so that you can get the free crew member. But like, I don't know. I'm probably not going to play this a whole lot because I don't need more crew, and I already have a King Tiger, and even if I didn't, I wouldn't care to have one. So kind of blah. There's also skins that you can buy, of course. They're about They're 4,500 gold each. They're about, I mean, that's, what is that, like 20 bucks. You can't earn these, I don't think. You have to buy them. So there's not really, you know, this is totally almost separate from the event. They just kind of look in a similar style, and they do look kind of cool. You can click around and look at these in the garage yourself. For the IS-7, the Manticore, and the Leopard 1. But yeah, they're about 20 bucks, it sounds like. So that's their typical high pricing for skins. But they look neat, so that's a thing. So those are rewards. That's how much time this is going to take you. It goes for 2 weeks, so 56 battles in 2 weeks. You know, for some of you that's like 2 days. I don't know. Sure, fine, no problem. But for me, I don't think it's worth my time, so I'm probably not going to play this a whole bunch. So anyways, what is the event itself? The event is essentially you're going to pick one of these 3 tanks, and then as you go up the line, you'll unlock, or you can pay to unlock, pay credits to unlock these other tanks. It's a T-54 and the T-49 with the derp gun. You're gonna take these tanks in and basically play against AI, a bunch of groups of AI tanks on what is a heavily modified version of the Ghost Town map. And you're gonna, you know, they're spawning in clusters. You go kill a cluster and you go collect the drops that they drop. There's a bunch of goo, and then there's one central node. It's somewhere that moves around or it doesn't move in between phases. But like, there's a spot, and you'll see it on the map where you have to go. It's called a Magnus. You drop off all the goo, and that'll transport you to the next phase once you've gotten enough of it. And that's basically it. Just, you know, kill the things, collect the goo, drop it off, and then once you have enough, then you're done. And also, don't get killed by the Immortal. The Immortal is some big giant. Can you see it in here? There, that thing. Big, giant, freaking huge Immortal. It's immortal. It's until the very end. You just don't even tango with this thing. You run away. And it just kind of like does the Halloween Jason, where it just kind of slowly trundles in your general direction all the time, always. So eventually it will find you. So that's a thing. But yeah, you start in like the low difficulty level, which is pretty easy, and then it has 3 phases. You go to phase 1, and that's easy, and phase 2 is harder, and phase 3 is harder than that, and then you win. Then it unlocks medium difficulty, and that has 4 phases. That, you know, so it's almost like difficulty levels within difficulty levels, because of course it is, because this is a wargaming product. And then the highest difficulty level, of course, you get more keys for being at the higher difficulty levels, and at the end of the top 2 difficulty levels, you actually do fight the Immortal, I guess. So that's a thing. And that's basically, I'm gonna be honest, that's basically the game, and it's very, very pared down state. I mean, there's like 2 whole articles about all the minutia, all the different enemy tanks that are out there, all the different style. Like, you can see there's little hedgehog things, little, you know, remote mine things, little suicide, and various different enemies that you can go study that if you care, because some of them do have different characteristics, and some do different things and behave certain ways. Some will specifically like hunt you down. But you know, if you don't care about the specifics, you just want to play the game, then go do that. Yeah. So I guess that's the very pared down bit. You do get some of these cool consumables, and for this reason, this is actually going to segue me right into the economics of the mode. You do get credits for doing well in the game mode, and so that with that in mind, you can definitely make credits in this game mode. However, if you really want to maximize, you need to be running consumables like this. They're not the normal consumables that you play with in random battles. They're different, and they cost credits. So if you're going to be running consumables, you're probably going to be not making any credits. You're probably going to be credit negative. You're probably not making credits off of this game mode. And so you'll have to just read up what these things do. That's pretty neat. They're kind of fun, I guess. You know, try. So if nothing else, I think everybody should probably just like give this a spin just to try these little consumables out, because it's kind of cool. But that's basically it. Your economics wise, you're not making credits. You're gonna grind your face off for a King Tiger. It is a 5-man platoon type thing, so you can have 5, or you and 5 friends, or sorry, you and 4 friends, I suppose. And it's pretty important that you get 4 people that are cooperative, right? Because I've played 2 games this morning here real quick, and the teams that I got were from random battles or just random teammates, and they were not very good. I mean, you need the coordination. You need to be grouping up. You need to be picking a target and so on and staying together. And if one guy doesn't know what's going on, he just runs off and he dies. And in between the little phases, you will respawn. But it definitely makes it a lot harder to win when it's like all of a sudden it's just you that you've got to finish it all by yourself. So, yeah, and that's I forgot to mention that until this very moment. Try not to die, because you do respawn. Assuming your team can, collect the goo and take to the Magnus thing, you will respawn once you go to the next phase. But you have half health and so on, and you lose your little bonuses every time you don't die. You get a little bonus, and I'll just flip over to this. This is in the one of the 2 articles. There's a how to play, and then there's an event guide that is like huge. They call them anomalies. Basically, it's a random little bonus that's nice. And every time you don't die and go to the next phase, you get one of these at random. And if you die, you lose it. So it's really important that you don't die, if you can. I mean, I know with the what was it? The Waffentrager event, you could respawn 3 times, and I think maybe people are just used to that. You do technically respawn, but it doesn't help you. Like, there's only 5 of you, and you each only have 1 life per phase. So if you die early, you might have just hosed your whole team. So try not to die if you, if you can. And that's basically that's the game mode. It's you run out. It's not very complicated. You run out, you kill the things. Collect the goo, drop it off, rinse, repeat, and don't try to tango with the immortal until the very end, until you have to, and then shoot for the little shiny spots and his little weak spots, and that's basically it. So, anyways, there's a lot more to this. Obviously, since there's so many, there's 2 articles and I don't know, like a page and a half each or whatever, but there's a lot to know if you really care about digging in about what the various different enemies do and all that various kind of stuff. You can go read the articles. I'll link them below. But these are the basics. These are the things you need to know. And the most important thing is don't die. Stay together. Try to platoon with friends so you can coordinate. And that's it. Yeah, it's not very. I mean, it's not that hard. But then the other question is, is it even worth it? I mean, play a couple games, but I'm definitely not. Personally, I don't know about you guys, I'm not in for that. Grinding 56 games, spending my free time doing this for a freaking King Tiger. Are you kidding me? So, yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully this was helpful, guys. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments below. I do read all of them. So if you have questions, if there's something I can help with, or if I've made you more confused or something, let me know. And hopefully hopefully this has been helpful. So thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.